Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement. Good day, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to the program, Agriculture on the Move. I am Phillip Sydney. As I told you, there's so much in agriculture. So I have to continue where I left out with the Honorable Ezechiel Joseph, who has responsibility, of course, for so many portfolios which you know, agriculture, fisheries, physical planning, natural resources, cooperatives. And we even touching physical planning because there's so much. And there's so much that's happening in agriculture. We still, on the second part of this program, will not be able to touch. But you will be aware from our other programs, our radio programs, and other television programs. So, welcome back, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very much. Well, welcome back. I'm still there.
You're still there.
Yeah.
Mr. Minister, nous t'ai parlé l'autre programme là concernant marketing board et puis fish marketing. Et puis nous dit comme ça, nous savons des projets ça pas qu'à travers bien. Il y aura là un point chaitan, bagage a changé, la place où on a changé et puis management même il semble pas qu'à marcher bien. Nous avons gouvernement après gouvernement, ils savent ça, so ça pas bagage qui neuf. So dis-nous, dis peuple, dis ces femmes et ces pêcheurs yo savent bagay kay marché plus meilleur ba yo di yo.
Well, quand on dit et puis ça on dit c'est la vérité. Tant marketing board est formé puis tant fish marketing corporation est formé. Environnement actuellement c'est parti environnement carotte l'année passée. Là il y a chez l'autre monde qui est involvé même bagay là yo ka fait et puis yo pas changer manière yo ka opérer. Et puis ça nous ka ouais that chaque temps yo acheter from farmers ou yo acheter from les pêcheurs, yo pas ka payer aller. Vous n'avez pas l'argent pour payer, vous avez acheté pour dormir, et puis vous n'avez pas vendre assez pour payer ces pêcheurs, payer ces dormir. Et puis, semaine passée, moi, j'ai un petit pêcheur. Et puis, vous avez dit, là, vous voulez, là, vous vendez dormir. Et puis, vous voyez, là, vous vendez poisson, vous avez l'argent. Vous avez une semaine, 2 semaines, vous ne pouvez pas 3 mois, 4 mois, 6 mois,
8 mois.
Vous pas payer. Donc, nous ne pouvons pas continuer chaque date. Yo to aka venir au gouvernement et le gouvernement ka bail là et puis nous pas faire progrès. So nous vieux restructure c'est bail ça et puis moi ça dit that based on ça nous a décidé au cabinet nous ga restructure et puis nous prendre tough decision là parce que nous pas continuer à opérer manière ça moi ça dit that nous toujours ka dit that co gouvernement co ministre l'année en placement pour central market bid pour les pêcheurs et bien by farmer les doré là ni pour une central market so farmers ni pour une option ça pour ça vendre by central market là bi pêcher et bien doré but management c'est entité ça pas ça continuer qu'à opérer manière qu'à opérer pas ça payer farmers aller pas ça payer pêcher aller so nous ca restructure.
OK, so quitte ça commencer parce que ça et puis fish marketing et puis dit c'est mon encore c'est pas fermé.
You restructure.
You can restructure. Parce que tout le monde a dit c'est fermé. Marketing boss c'est pas fermé, restructure. So quitte c'est by ça qui a commencé.
Well, nous parler cabinet hier et puis les moyens c'est pêcheur well c'est executive yon c'est coopérative là, pas c'est plus pêcheur, executive yon c'est coopérative là. Yo porter d'autres points moi apprécier. Et ça c'est ça encore que dialogue, right? Pour moi yo parler des affaires la glace là. Non, on va aller sur tout ça qui est back and forth les affaires la glace. Si recommandation ont été faites plus bonne était pour un coup, nous pas de tout à capir la glace. Right? But nous move forward, okay? Et puis parler des affaires, il y a place pour ça vendre puissant because actuellement chaque puissant 48 pays because notre saison
c'est gros puissant.
C'est puissant 48. So, hier moi parler du cabinet, malgré cabinet qui avait 2-3 mois pour une entité neuf là pour les pêcheurs, ouais, pour mettre ça en place. Moi parler puis yo d'accord. Alright? Et puis, yo di ministry a pour engager moun nan nou ka veiller. Et puis, nous pas autrement ça parler ben moi c'est non moun nan because nous pas construire d'agreement. Nous ka négocier.
D'accord.
Pour parler puis moun nan d'accord pour dire si ça venir plus bonnet. Passer deux mois à least nous ça que ka phasing soit yo entrer pour bailler pêcher en soulagement pour ça 20% yo. Parler puis la glace yo parce que ça c'est important.
C'est important.
Alors si le cas avait finissement l'année passée si pêcher a pas de capoter cher pour ça entrer. Right? So si on capoter cher pour ça entrer actuellement nous gouvernement nous comprendre ça et puis qui manière nous ça bailler aussi pour qui nécessaire but definitely nous pour restructure. Right? Nous pas continuer le manière nous continuer. Marketing board qu'a fait la semaine prochaine. So pour semaine prochaine nous avons une structure en place ça encore interim management because chaque monde ka dit but c'est comme marketing board yo acheter dans yo pour pack c'est là yo acheter en blanc yo pour yo tout temps yo so nécessaire pour femme ça vendre et puis so nous ka faire ça nous ça fait but definitely nous can restructure c'est ça il va continuer même manière.
D'accord. But Mr. Minister, let's look at livestock, the livestock sector. We know that there are a number of programs that we had friendly governments who are coming soon to assist. We have the IPSA project, a number of projects. We have, artificial insemination, not only in cattle now, with the move to pigs, with the move to small ruminants. So there are so many things that are happening. Tell us what's happening with those projects. Tell us what's happening to Bosejo and going over to Volet.
Well, I mean, we all know the challenges that we face as it pertains to Bosejo. The government saw the need to have this investor down in Vieux-Fort to really boost up economic activities in Vieux-Fort. And we didn't see it as a disincentive, we saw it as an opportunity for us as a ministry because we are moving to a new site where we can restructure and build facilities that is in keeping into this environment as it pertains to agriculture and livestock. So we embrace that opportunity. We have purchased, government has purchased the land in Volet. We're going to have now 100 acres, a little more than we have in Bosejo for the farm. We have made our design, we have got DCA approval. And the Prime Minister very soon will be giving us the resources for us to start constructing the pens that we would need immediately. Right, the infrastructure that we need immediately to relocate our livestock from Bosejo into Volet. So that's where we are as far as concerned. The other big project that we have spoken about is the MPF. Okay, and you see, Sydney, when I hear people say we don't dialogue, that's not the approach of the ministry, right? Sure. I mean, as an extension officer, I know the benefit of going out and speaking to the stakeholders, if not me directly, but send my officers to speak to the stakeholders and get from them what the thinking is. When we had initially decided to construct the meat processing facility, Bosejo was not the preferred option. All right?
I know that.
And you know that he was in the ministry at that time, okay? But the government at the time, Cabinet felt, let's go to Bosejo. That's where the livestock farm is, let's make it the complex, the livestock complex.
Complex, correct. Yes.
That was the phrase that was used at the time.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for us. Without structure that we had agreed to build in 2009, unfortunately, it's not the structure that is there now.
It's changed.
It has changed. They have expanded it. And when I came in, I said, how can we as a government operate this facility to generate our resources to keep it and not to see the throughput and not to have a marketing board or fish marketing corporation on our hands. So this provides us with an opportunity now to go back to the original plan.
Hold that point. We'll continue in a second. Yeah. We're due for a first break. Stay tuned.
St. Lucia is blessed year-round with an abundance of fruits. But do you know that most of them go to waste? Here's an opportunity to invest either from a small to a large-scale agro-processing enterprise. You can contact the Ministry of Agriculture for further information.
Welcome back to the program. Mr. Minister, yes, we're talking about the MPF, and I think it is already built, and definitely it has to be moved, okay? Originally, it was an abattoir. That's what I remember. And it has moved from abattoir to a meat processing facility, okay? So tell us, continue where you left out.
Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, and you're correct, because the original plan was to slaughter, do the cuts, okay? When we had the opportunity to discuss the activities taking place, to take place there, we said, one, we're not going to enter into boiler production, because he had a number of St. Lucians with facilities producing boilers. I don't think it's right for government to compete with them.
Correct.
And also, there are a number of St. Lucians doing processing, the bacons and the sausages and things. I don't think it's something that we should get involved in. Okay. What we could have, the plan was at the time, was to provide them with the raw material coming out of the abattoir.
All right. Right.
Because I am aware that they were importing a lot of raw material to allow them to produce the byproducts. But unfortunately, that plan changed. Okay. Like I said earlier, we came back, and the facility not going. Hey boy, we are breaking down the facility. That's far from the truth. Government is not breaking down the facility. The facility is going to be used by the individuals who are having the horse racing track as part and parcel of the
whole project.
The whole project, and they have agreed. They have agreed to refund government the 12 million that we got as grant funding from the government of Taiwan. They're waiting on us now to come up with the design so at least they can make that money available for us to start constructing a new facility. Okay. Like I said earlier, that was not our original plan when we started it, but of course we had to go down there. At that time again, there was discussion about building two small abattoirs, one north, one south. As a ministry, we did not see the need for two small abattoirs because of management and maintenance, and we don't have the throughput for two small abattoirs. So that provides an opportunity now to construct the abattoir, the place that we had originally planned. And when I met with the Pig Farmers Association, they said, Mr. Minister, we would want the facility to be constructed in Lakai Dennery. I think Lakai Dennery is central enough.
Central.
Okay. Originally, we had looked at Montrose. That's by where they have all the buildings, and you should know Lakai, the stretch on the right hand side going up to Dennery. Right. It is going to be too costly because of the nature of the soil there. Okay. And Heritage, I was speaking with a number of farmers again from the Mabia Valley, and they reminded me of the old boxing plant that Dennery Farmco had.
Yes.
All right. So when I went down there, I saw it. I said, but that's an ideal location.
Perfect location. I
brought my vet people there. I spoke to the pig farmer. They said, that's the location. That's the ideal location. So that is the location where we're going to build a new abattoir. I said, going to Lime Lapel, right? That old boxing plant there. We have gotten original cost. I've spoken to the investors. They have agreed to give the $12 million as soon as we are ready. So that is where we're going to construct the new abattoir. Coming back to the original plan, an abattoir that we can manage. We don't have cattle, the type of cattle in St. Lucia that this facility is making provision for. So the focus would be on pigs,
small ruminants,
and small ruminants. You know, with some rabbit. Of course, we'll make provision for one or two cattle, but not the type of throughput I'm seeing there that was put in place for cattle cattle slaughtering. We don't have we don't have that in St. Lucia. So whilst one might see that as a disappointment, I see it as a blessing. All right. So we're hoping to start the construction of the new abattoir, the MPF, as soon as we can get DCA approval. We do things without DCA approval.
Yes.
and take it from there.
Okay. All right. I know there are so many other things. You talk about the agro-processing facilities that you just got commissioned, recently. I don't know if you want to speak about that quickly.
Well, yes. I mean, I'm hearing people calling talk shows and saying, "Oh, you're going to do nothing about agro-processing. We have fruits wasting," and but the reality is, Sydney, we have done a lot as a government for agro-processing. We constructed 2 facilities. Right, one in Foasso, and one in Alger. The one in Foasso, when I came back in, it was closed. The one in Alger was never open. We just opened it recently. Okay, Apart from that, I mean, you who participated in World Food Day with the film agro-processing or whatever, and we saw a number of small persons that are involved in agro-processing, and that's the direction we have to go.
Definitely.
We cannot have this central processing plant. We don't have the throughput for a central processing plant in St. Lucia because of our production.
Exactly.
But one of the things that we have to look at is how we get the mangoes and the grapefruits and the citruses and the golden apple into the agro-processing facilities.
Right.
Because a farmer will not go and, well, I'm going to speak generally, there are a number of farmers that will not go and pick mango long and they still will sell for agro-processing.
That's right.
Right? So what I think now, the processors should develop
A rapport.
or develop an approach like the exporters doing. The exporters go out there, they buy a tree. All right? So the processors now should adopt that approach. Go and buy a mango long tree, and you have your person to pick it for you.
Yes.
So a farmer is quicker to say, okay, instead of the mango long falling down, just give me $100, $200, $300 based on the amount of mangoes in the tree, and go and pick it.
And that goes for golden apple.
Golden apple and all this. So that is what I'm telling these processors now, that they have to look at the approach as to how they can really get the produce into the facility for processing. Because you pass around and you see mangoes falling on black as well. But people don't care about that because to me it may not be beneficial.
Yes.
The time, you know. So that's the approach you have to look at.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's look at other infrastructure. Our roads are pretty bad, our feeder roads. Farmers are complaining. Even if they have the FAR or the four-wheel drive, they still cannot maneuver some of those roads. What is the government doing as far as feeder roads are concerned?
Well, I mean, coming out of the experience of the hurricane where we did some remedial work on some of the farm roads, that created an interest, that really showed that there's need for a comprehensive program when it comes to agricultural feeder roads. And Sydney, you come here when last we had a program on agricultural feeder roads?
Never. It's a long time.
Yes, okay. So a lot of roads have deteriorated. We have agreed, and the Minister of Finance has agreed to give an allocation for the next 2 years to really do some of these roads. When we came in, we were looking at the question of asphalt. He sent us out, he said asphalt, chip and sprays. No, not asphalt, chip and spray is not what you're looking at, either asphalt or concrete.
Yeah.
So we want something more durable, so the Minister of Finance said that he's not going to support doing these roads in chip and spray, okay? But of course, we have a budget to work with, right? We have gone around with the support of the Ministry of Infrastructure. We got the feedback and looking over 100 million.
Wow.
Dollars.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Right? In Cabinet on Monday, we were discussing that, and the Prime Minister looked at it and said, oh, well, let's see how we can do it. All right? We have to face it out. So the resources that we have, and I want to say it here today, we will not be able to do all the roads. We cannot do all the roads
At once.
We could do all the roads in year one, we could do all the roads we only have about 2 to 3 more years as a government. There's no way we can do all these roads within that time. So it will be done on the area of priority. Right? The extension officer will have to give us a priority, and the priority will be the type of economic activities having there, the number of farmers, the condition of the road, you know, and what the others we can do remedial. Right. But definitely, I will not stay here today and say we could do all farmers in St. Lucia. It's too costly.
It's costly.
Yeah. But definitely, we are going to look at starting doing some work on these roads.
Okay, let's go back to fisheries. There are quite a few projects, but there are a few bottlenecks when it comes to climate change. The sargassum seaweed, I think that must be troubling you. It must be strangling you because the fishermen, I mean, on the East Coast, there are problems. I was in Mico not too long ago, and I mean, when a fisherman said to me on an early morning to go out there, he has to walk in that mess to get to his boat. I mean, that's not a nice thing, you know. So where we are with that?
Well, I mean, let me say first of all that we in 2000 we came in 2006, 11, 2015 thereabout. We approached the government of Japan because not only you look at the library too. The fishermen in the library have to walk into the sea to go and collect the boat.
Okay, hold that thought now. I think there's a break. I was informed. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.
For effective chemical treatment of black sigatoka, practice routine preventative maintenance of all tools and equipment, especially the mist blower, to ensure proper functioning. Clean sprayer after use and service the machine regularly, as recommended by the manufacturer. Whenever you are using pesticides to control black sigatoka disease, personal protection and safety measures must be followed. Spray operators must always wear proper protective gear. Before or when handling pesticides, put on your overalls, respirator, goggles, boots, and gloves to avoid contact with the skin, inhalation, and ingestion of pesticides.
For more information on how to treat and control black sigatoka on your farm or in your backyard garden, contact the Black Sigatoka Management Unit at 451-5491, 451-5894, or email bpmu@candw.lc. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Agriculture in collaboration with the International Cooperation and Development Fund of the Republic of China on Taiwan.
Welcome back. Mr. Minister, yes, we're talking about the sargassum seaweed and the effect, the problems the farmers are facing, the fishers are facing.
Yeah.
Tell us as we continue on this.
Yeah, speaking about the library, because you spoke about Miku, and the fishermen told you the challenges they have to walk through the mess to go and get the boat. But there's also a problem in library.
Library?
No, not sargassum, but the boats are out in the sea.
Oh, yes.
Early morning.
Yes.
Although we had problems with sargassum last year.
Yes.
We had problems with sargassum last year in the library.
They did, yes.
All wrong. So we had approached the government of Japan to put a jetty for both library and Miku. Coming back now, I've re-engaged them.
Okay.
We have a serious problem in Swizzle.
Yes.
Serious problem in Swizzle. All right, and we have tried many things in Swizzle to see how we can really remedy that situation of the level of siltation taking place in Swizzle. They told me give them some time to really rectify the Swizzle problem
before they attack.
Before they look at the Miku and library situation. They understand that there is need to have these facilities, but they want to concentrate on Swizzle. We have a study now taking place.
Okay.
At the end of this month, we shall be getting a report as to possible option from the experts from Japan as to how we can really corrige, if I can use that word, that situation, because we have tried many things, and it's something that we inherited as a government. Based on what I was told, that it is the time of construction, which I was not during my time, they were advised not to do it the way they were doing it. They did not listen to local knowledge, right?
Things we know, we should know that,
And now we have that serious problem. I understand what the fishermen are going through, the fisher folks, and so we're trying to rectify that situation. But in sargassum, yes, we have to continue doing what we can. I want to really express my appreciation to Mr. Dijon, being able to convert this sargassum into an agricultural product. As a government, we see how we can continue working with him. We are working with CRFM to see how, there's only something a problem in St. Lucia, we have to tackle it from a regional approach. And I'm aware that they are in discussion with the government of Japan looking at technology. We had a team from Guadeloupe, Martinique last year, who also inform us of the challenges and what can be done in Martinique and Guadeloupe. So we're looking at how the ways and means that to see how we can really, solve the problem. But it's a problem that we have to
definitely.
And I know it's affecting our fishermen.
Definitely.
And not only fishermen, but the tourism industry.
Yes, by far. Yes.
Because when you look at what's happening in Vieux-Fort, and the hotel in Vieux-Fort spending so much money to clean the beach area.
When you look at this thing, man, there's something else. Wow, it's very bad. Very bad. Mr. Minister, there's so much to talk about, but we are coming to wrap up. But before we wrap up, I know there's a diagnostic lab that's be built at Union, and there's so many things that farmers want. There's so many services that they want, and farmers cannot get it on time. Soil tests for pH and all kind of things like this, and the list goes on. A diagnostic when it comes to pests and diseases. Also. Fertilizers that are being brought in here, we don't even know the content. What's written on the bag is totally different. The N, the P, and the K is totally different. We need to test and to ensure the farmers get the right formula. Tell us something about this new diagnostic lab.
Well, you're correct about that. And let me give you a little background as to how the idea came out for the need for a lab of that magnitude in St. Lucia. At that time, I was farm manager of Sir Alpha when I retired from government. Okay, and we had some serious problems with our eggs, our layers, hairline cracks.
Okay, yes.
Serious problems, and we wanted to test the feed, right? And we had to send the feed all the way to Trinidad
Wow.
to be tested, to satisfy ourselves that the problem was in the feed.
Wow.
And it was a very costly exercise. So I said, well, what about the small farmers? You know, what are services that we have to put in place? What else, you know, have to assist the small? It's almost half a list. Could afford it.
Yes.
What about small farmers?
Correct.
And that's where I saw the need. I remember Roseau Lab, Windman. I remember Union Agricultural Station Lab. And I said, no, there's a need for the lab to expand with our services that we give to our farmers. So at the time, the intention was to go to Roseau, to refurbish a lab in Roseau, all right? To take it over from Windfresh and refurbish it, and to have the proprietary services for our farmers. But unfortunately, we lost the election. SLB came in, they changed the location.
Okay.
But I'm happy that at least they continue that project. It's a very important project.
It is.
Because especially now you talk about fertilizer, you talk about animal feed, are the livestock farmers, and there's a lot of outcry as it pertains to the quality of
feed.
livestock feed. And livestock feed is a major component of livestock production.
That's correct.
Major component. And if the farmers are not getting that quality, it
affects output.
It affects output, right? The question of food safety.
Yes, that's another one, yes.
Our farmers have to understand, with that lab, we will be doing random testing to make sure that the level of residue in the vegetables that we're producing is not above the level that would affect people. So the whole question of doing recalls and the whole question of being able to track where the lettuce is coming from and where the tomatoes coming from would be in the new system, the new marketing system that we put in place.
That's right.
So that's where all the education comes in. Because food safety is a critical component. We can't be talking about productivity without safety. Right? Be it safety for our water, be it safety for our foods, and make sure people eat healthy. So we can't be feeding our people and then killing them. All right? So the lab will play a critical role. The lab was funded by the European Union under the BAM project. Now government is putting about $4 million to do the final touches. And in addition to lab now, what we are looking at is to use the facility of Union to what I call the home for agriculture.
Okay, good. Very good.
So to bring up the ministry of that, because when you got all the activities, all the major departments is at Union, all right? So my dream is to have the Ministry of Agriculture up there. So a farmer come to Union, he has all the facilities. What we have now, we are so fragmented.
Yes, true.
And the reality of our agriculture is that we are what they call, we are small scale, but we have mixed agriculture, mixed cropping. We have farmers who are doing livestock, we have farmers doing bees, we have farmers, the same farmer doing vegetables, the same farmer doing bananas, the same farmer doing cut flour, right? So a farmer coming down to Castries would have to go to Union to get support for cut flowers. Might have to go to another place to get support for his bees. So if you have everything in one location, the farmer can come and get the services that he requires and then go back to his home. So you have to run all over the place. So definitely, apart from the lab, we're looking at the whole aspect of what I call a home for the Ministry of Agriculture.
Very good, very good.
And that will be at Union.
In 2 seconds, final words.
Well, thank you very much, Sydney, for this opportunity. Like you said, we have a lot to discuss.
A lot.
I must say that we are taking some bold decisions. We're making some bold decisions. We are implementing some programs that I know will impact positively the agriculture. And I speak of agriculture, speaking generally, our forestry, fisheries, and all the other components of agriculture, subsectors of agriculture. We're looking forward to the next financial year, which starts in April, to really unfold the import substitution program. And I'm hoping that farmers will understand and buy into it and appreciate that there are benefits to be derived from that program. And of course, our fishermen, we are taking them on board. Definitely. And we're hoping that we can really see that the challenges that they face with will be no longer. Taking 90 days and 120 days to be paid.
That problem will be solved.
That problem will be solved.
Mr. Minister, thank you very much for being here. I wish you success, and I know your back is broad, and you'll be able to take it on. Thank you again for being here. You've been watching Agriculture on the Move. People, we are moving forward. Agriculture is on the move. And look forward for this year. There are more projects to come through. Marketing Board, as you hear, and Fish Marketing Corporation will be on the move. Thank you for viewing. I'm Phillip Sydney. Goodbye. Yes, I
Thank you.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.
Agriculture on the move.
Agricole en mouvement.